Hello, folks. Sorry for the early shot, but tonight it's an update for the G1 Climax 34. We now have our 6 finalists.
6 finalists through thick and thin, through turmoil. Oh my God.
The A block finished as follows. The top point getter with 14 points, Zack Sabre Jr. His only losses coming to Shingo Takagi and Shota Umino. There was a four-way tie for second between Shingo Takagi, the Great Okan, Evil, and Tetsuya Naito, each at 10. But the tiebreakers went to Shingo and Okan, of all people. Then there was a four-way tie at 8 between Jake Lee, Gabe Kidd, Shota Umino, and Sonata. Jake Lee getting the tiebreakers there, and Cal Newman finished at the bottom with 4. To be honest with Callum, I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked either.
On the other hand, the B block, it was a little more tight-knit, which ended today. Top of the B block, IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion David Finlay with 12. Then you had a four-way tie between Konosuke Takeshita, Yota Tsuji, Ren Narita, and Jeff Cobb, with the tiebreakers going to Takeshita and Tsuji.
Wow.
Yuya Uemura had to pull out due to an elbow dislocation, so he finished with 8, alongside Bolton, Oleg, Hiroki Goto, and Hanare, and then El Phantasmo finished with 6.
That's surprising.
Now, I'm glad there are no House of Torture goons in sight in this year's...
Good. This is going to make this year be very good.
Though, personally, I was more nervous that Narita... I had sewn in my head that Narita was going to be the one to move on for Bullet Club because I thought ELP was going to play spoiler, but Gato played spoiler to Phantasmo and screwed him out of going to the playoff... of screwing Finlay out of the playoff.
Wah, wah.
So now we're down to, in the 8th block, the matches are Shingo Takagi against the Great Okan and Konosuke Takeshita against Yota Tsuji. Those will be tomorrow in Chiba. The winners move on to Saturday to face Zack Sabre Jr. and David Finlay, respectively, in the semis. And then on Sunday, in Ryogoku, it's the final of the G1 34.
This is going to be an interesting. Let's get our predictions underway.
Also, I have an update in regards to the N1. We've got a couple of injury removals.
Ah, man, injuries suck.
Tsuji Katoge forced to pull out due to a neck injury, and Hiyode Dr. Wagner Jr. forced to pull out due to a cervical sprain.
Oh my God, this is heart wrenching.
Mm-hmm. So in any case, based on relevancy, I'm going to say that they're going to save Takeshita versus Tsuji for the main event. And of the quarterfinal night in Chiba. Wouldn't you agree to that?
Yeah.
Okan against Shingo. These two have basically battled each other for years, whether it be over the KOPW title, the Never Crown. These two men will go tit for tat with each other. But when you consider the youth advantage swings towards Okan at, I believe, let's see, he's at 34, 35, maybe 36, to Shingo's like 41 or so.
Yeah.
I'll double check how old they are. Great. Okan is 33. And Shingo is 41.
I don't know what happened. It just kicked me out.
I didn't do anything to it.
Didn't do anything either. But now I'm here. I'm not going to touch anything else until it's all said and done.
Looks like someone was posing as you. Is Luis Vega your backup name?
No. No, that's me. I'm using that name as like a fronter. Like, he's not posing. I'm using it. The name that you see right here, that's the name I stuck with.
But the one out
that no, it's because I haven't done that in a while. They had to accept cookies and all that stuff.
Oh, okay, so that's what happened. Okay.
Yep. So how we're gonna do this prediction with the climax?
This is a tail setup. On the one hand, and when you look at it with the A block, is there really any reason for any of these three to win it? No, they've all got IWGP World Heavyweight title shots in their back pockets.
Yeah.
It's just not a matter of if they're going to cash in, it's when they're going to cash those in.
It's going to be utterly pointless, I know.
I mean, given Zack, I think I know when he's going to cash in, and that's if it happens after the King of Pro Wrestling event at the middle of October. That following weekend, it's going to be at Royal Quest 4, if they have it, at the Copper Box in London.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, the only other one that does have a title shot against Naito coming up is Evil.
But of course, why him?
The sooner they get that son of a bitch out of the way, the better.
I know. So now we got to predict who's going to make it to the top. But you have 6 people. 6 people go down to 3, and then what then?
Well, actually, it's 2 getting a bye, and then it gets cut down to 4.
Oh, I see. 2 get a bye week. I figured.
Anyway, between Okan and Shingo, who would you want to go with?
Okada and Shingo.
It's Okan, not Okada.
Okan. I choose Okan.
I'm going to go Shingo. On the flip side in the B block, Konosuke Takeshita against Yota Tsuji.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to kid myself here. I don't see Takeshita winning this match, mostly because he's an outside talent. And we all saw in the BOSJ last year when Speedball got to the semis of that tournament, they knocked him out almost instantly.
Ouch.
Against Master Wato. So therefore, by that logic, I don't see Takeshita being Tsuji.
Yeah.
Semifinal in Ryogoku. This one is where it becomes tantalizing. On the one hand, would it be intriguing to see an all Los Ingos final between Shingo and Tsuji? Yes. But do you want that? Part of me is saying no. Because now that you think about it, the last year and a half, coming up on 2 years, the lineage of the IWGP World Heavyweight title has more or less been woven into the fabric, whether it be inadvertent or on purpose, of Los Ingobernables de Japon. Dating back to when Sonata won it off Okada at last year's Sakura Genesis event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All his defenses, except for the Jack Perry defense, were against current or former LIJ ops. Naito, first defense against Sonata, former LIJ op. Second defense against Tsuji, current LIJ op. The Moxley defense where he lost it doesn't really count. Moxley's second defense against the leader of LIJ, Naito. Do we really need to keep the storyline going of this title breeding infighting between current and former LIJ operatives? What's your opinion on that?
Not sure on that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am going to take Tsuji over Finlay. But do you put him against Shingo or against Zack?
That's going to be a tough decision.
I'll break the coin out. If it's heads,
bring out the coin.
Heads, Zack. Tails, Shingo. Heads. I'm going to go Zack.
Figured you'd make that decision.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd still be tantalized by an all LIJ final, but I don't think it's going to happen. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have the final. ZSJ being only, let's see, Rick Rude, Carl Anderson, Kenny Omega twice, Jay White, Will Ospreay. If he wins that semifinal match, he'd be only the 7th Gaijin to make it to the G1 final. And there's only been one who's ever won it. Kenny Omega in 2016. But with the way they've been building up Tsuji, I'm not sure if Zack would win it. Sure, the safe bet would be to give the trophy to Zack so he can get a double cash-in attempt.
A double cash-in would not help.
True. But that makes him burning that title shot at the copper box rather pointless. But on the other hand, we don't know Tiffany Bushnair.
Yep.
But on the other hand, they've been really building up Tsuji. I mean, we didn't pick him to win the New Japan Cup. We picked Finlay, and had he not gone sick, he would have won the tournament.
I know.
Granted, he would have used that opportunity to go after Nick Nemeth for the global title. But, of course, when he got sick, he had to wait a month to get that opportunity.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to throw caution to the wind here. Tsuji wins. I take it you're going to go Zack?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. I don't know when we'll be up next. Maybe if you want to do, I don't know, Capital Collision picks on the 29th, since that show's going to happen on the 30th.
August 29th? Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Okay. Tune in next week at around 7 o'clock, folks. Granted, I'm going to be stuck with a double shift and won't get home until 5. And with a shift transfer, I won't get home until 5.
What can you do, honestly?
Blame this on a coworker of mine who's going to be in Florida for 2 weeks.
Understandable.
Comment, like, and sub. We are the MegaMets Podcast. So goodbye. Good fucking night. Bang.
That
Thanks
went
for the help,
well.
Jose.
Always. See you then.